Hey guys, this is Chetan for Gizmo Times, and you're watching a revisit of the gaming of Redmi Xiaomi Note 8 Pro. This was, or is still is one of the best gaming smartphones in the mid-range pricing category, thanks to the Helio G90T chipset, along with that Mali G76 MC4 GPU. So this phone was probably called one of the best because of that chipset, which was made for gamers, but it had quite some competition from the Redmi K20 from the same brand as well as from the Realme X2, because those two phones were coming in with the Qualcomm Snapdragon 730G, the gaming chipset from Qualcomm. So obviously there should be quite some competition there. But in the end, this is our verdict that the Redmi Note 8 Pro has better options for gaming, and it also handles graphics pretty well, and surprisingly it's better than the Qualcomm's chipset when we talk about the same price range. So in this video again we are going to play PUBG Mobile for a while, and we'll show you the settings that are still possible in case there are any changes or not. And in the actual gaming video that we did previously, there was no gyroscope usage, and frankly this is for the first time that I'm going to use gyroscope, so it's better not to judge the gameplay. I'm just using gyroscope to let you know about how the gyroscope functions here and whether it does well or not. Otherwise it's always the regular usage that I do. I don't use gyroscope, it's a three finger setup that I use. But here let's try that out to see if it works or not, because most of you still have a doubt about gyroscope, and if you are someone who uses gyroscope, you always wanted to know whether the phone is able to handle stuff in that aspect or not. So firstly, under the graphics settings, you still have the smooth and extreme option, and this is the smooth and extreme under graphics, and you have the balanced ultra, HD ultra, HDR ultra as well. So HDR Extreme is an option that you would see on chipsets such as Qualcomm Snapdragon 845, 855, and not lesser than that. So expecting that is anyway harsh here for a phone that is well under 20,000 rupees. So we are going to play the game right now on smooth and extreme, which is what most of us would try to do, because extreme is where you get that 60 FPS gameplay. And here gyroscope, you get the option of gyroscope under the basic settings. So I have kept it to always on because I wanted to try out and see how it works here, and whether gyroscope usage would be good enough or not. And before we start a game, let's go into the training mode and try to see if I can try to use gyroscope for a while. And while we do this, I'm going to start a timer so that we record the amount of time we are playing these games for. So this is the full gyro that is activated right now, and you can see that it's responding quite well. It's not the gyroscope on only scoping in. So let's pick up a couple of guns where we see some recoil and see if things are handled well. So for the actually for the first time it's a bit hard to control things and use gyroscope, but let's still try and see if I'm able to handle it. So let me now go back and try a game itself. We'll be playing some quick arcade so that it's easier. We kill, we die, and Otherwise, if you remember the actual gaming review that we did of this phone, there were no issues with the performance. So I don't want to show you the performance, which hasn't changed much because I've been playing the game on this phone for quite a long time. Because I like the speaker performance, though we don't use speakers much. But I still, at some point when I don't have a headphones or my earphones around, I could use the speakers of this phone to take advantage of it and see if it works well. It does. And here's the frame rate. It's at 60 fps, which is quite cool. There's no issue with the frame rate as well, as it is all handled well so far. But I'm going to try the gyroscope only because many users have requested us to do that. Trying a gyroscope gameplay for any phone, and so let's see if I'm able to handle it well and if the phone is able to respond well as well. So we'll continue playing this game for about 45 minutes more before we come up with the final judgment. So 1 hour of gameplay is what we are going to do, but that won't be recorded. So let's continue after about an hour of gaming. So it's about 35 minutes so far, and the gyroscope, as I said, this is the first time that we are using gyroscope. So the gameplay has been pretty smooth so far, and you can see the temperatures here. It's about 40 degrees, 39.4 on the front, the highest that we saw, and on the back as well, it's around the same temperature that we see. Obviously, this area is where the liquid cooling pipe is, and that's where the chipset also rests. So, obviously, that has to be chilled so that there's no thermal throttling. Is doing quite well so far, and towards the top, it should be a bit more heated up. So here's where we see about 39 degrees, and that's what the temperature is. So 40 is nowhere alarming, it's not at all uncomfortable. It's quite decent enough with the way we can play the game so far on this one. And also, let's see the frame rate, it's still at 54, and the frame rate still count pretty well here, and everything has been pretty smooth on the phone so far. There's no complaint, as has been the case earlier as well. 59 fps, right now 58. So there's no issue in this aspect, but we are still going to play on gyroscope continuously, so that in the end we want to see the battery drain as well when you're playing a game with the smooth and extreme. That's the extreme frame rate with the gyroscope turned on. What's the battery drain as well? And these lags are because of the speeds, ping speed. It's 500 right now. The ping was, and that is because of the connectivity. A bit of a poor connectivity here. I don't know why, but right now it feels like a bit of a stuttering. Although we are having a ping of about 40, so that stutter could be because of the performance, some underclocking done or something around that, but not really sure about it. Only after this certain amount of time of gaming this has happened. So it's about 52 minutes, 51.3, that's 15 and a half minutes. So, so far I can say there was a couple of times where we felt that the phone's performance was giving a bit of an issue. This was not earlier, the last time we did the gaming review, but this time there was. that little issue that we found, and otherwise the temperature still at 39 degrees, not more than that. Okay, here's where it has gone up to 41 degrees, so 40.9 and 41 degrees is what it has gone to, and that is towards the top corner. This is where the phone is heating up a lot. And otherwise on the back again, let's see the temperatures on the back of the device, which is where, yeah, that's where it has gone up to 41.5 degrees, that particular area. And on the other areas it doesn't heat up much, and it's not bad at all. So one thing again about the battery as well, let's talk about the battery here. So now after about 50 minutes of gaming, let's check out the battery stats here to see whether the phone used up a lot of battery or not. So 86% battery is remaining out of 100, which was the starting. 58 minutes since the last charge to drain down to 85%. 15% for about an hour of gaming, 50 minutes or 55 minutes of gaming. And I'd say 15% is not bad, because again, if you consider playing this game for continuous a few hours, then it could be about 5 to 6 hours of screen on time on the Redmi Note 8 Pro is what you would get. And you had seen that this is with the gyroscope. This is not without gyroscope. So we have continuously played this only on gyroscope, and this was also on almost, this is like you can see it's about 80% of speaker output that we had played this on. And remember, you're not going to play this game on speaker most of the time, it is on headphones, so the battery's usage is going to be different in that aspect either as well. But otherwise it's all good. We have kept the brightness at medium, and that too is a fixed brightness, and you can see it's a complete gyro game that we have played. And it's actually quite a decent performance that we have seen here. It's not bad at all. So with the Redmi Note Pro, I can say that still the verdict would still be the same, because the phone has been doing quite well with the performance. The only thing is that in the future videos you'll be seeing more of gyro usage from our side, and whichever phone supports gyroscope pretty well, we'll be trying to show you the gyroscope usage of that as well. So that's it in this video. I can say this is still one of the best gaming smartphones, but stay tuned for the comparison of this with the Realme X2, which is coming with the Snapdragon 730G chipset. So we'll be doing a full-fledged comparison to show you the gyro usage on both the phones, the battery drain on both of them, the possible settings on PUBG Mobile, and we did play the Call of Duty Mobile on this phone, and it was pretty good. So there was nothing to really judge there. It's this game where you have to actually judge these kind of things, and and here there was no complaints at all. It did quite well, and it was quite a good phone for gaming in almost every aspect. So that's it in this video. I hope you got everything from this video about the gyros usage, about the battery drain, about the heating, and stay tuned also after a couple of months, if you're still waiting to see if this phone would heat up in the hot conditions like in summer, you should stay tuned for that video as well, which would come up like almost in a couple of months from now. Or otherwise, this was all about the Redmi Note 8 Pro's gaming, and that's it in this video. If you like this video, do subscribe and stay tuned for more videos that are coming soon on the channel, and see you in the next one.